In these days, we are following with apprehension the dramatic situation in Ukraine and the consequences that the war is having on the population forced to flee for safety. And we are really pleased to have in connection with us Dr. Andrii Semenov of National Academy of Sciences of Ukraine, who had to leave Kiev in recent days.
It's a really terrible situation for all of us. Of course, it makes very negative impact on all our scientific activity. Actually, you should understand that it is difficult to do some fundamental things about fundamental science when your family is in such a terrible situation, yeah, and when you should think how to survive, but not how to do something else.
And how do you try to manage for the future? I mean, to continue the activities?
It's a very good question, yeah, because at the moment we're not at the stage when we should think about this activity even. Because just so you know, everything was started at February 24 at the early morning, yeah. And just before this day, February 23, February 23, sorry, I'm forgetting now dates because it was really terrible times. So we were discussing with our funding body for researchers really small things, and it was for us like big problems. For example, do you understand what problems we consider it as a big? Yeah, for example, how much paper or some pens we can buy, yeah. It was for us important, and okay, it's really small problems, but for us it was looking like bureaucratic problems that we should do and just solve. Everything was changed on the morning on 24th of February, and it was explosions, and the life is completely, totally changed. In Kiev, in the Bogolubov Institute for Theoretical Physics of the National Academy of Sciences of Ukraine. So I was organizing a small group. Maybe this is not a formal group, but nevertheless it's a formal group of young people, young scientists who were actively working with some problems, really fundamental problems of quantum optics. Some of them, for example, are very close to what Professor Paolo Villoresi from the University of Padua is doing. Yeah, we were keeping in touch. We have already some very interesting results. We are preparing now manuscript sitting to send all this manuscript to papers. Yeah, and now I even don't know how this will work because all my students, all my colleagues are now either in Kiev but in a big disaster, at least one of them, or everybody else are maybe in other places inside Ukraine, yeah. But like me, I am now in Lviv, in the city, this is a city in the West Ukraine. Yes, I have found a possibility to find here such for a short period to rent a flat, and we are sitting here. The same situation are for all of them. So to be honest, at the moment we even do not discuss how to prolongate our scientific work, but I believe we will return. So first shot should be finished. It's really small time now because you see, now the question is how to survive, not how to. So just understand me.
Yeah.
Especially what I would like to say, especially for us. What is really, for me, what is really terrible, starting from 2014, Ukrainian scientific community make really serious, make really serious activities, yes, in order to make some changing in organizing of scientific works. It's not so easy because what we had from Soviet Union is a really old system, yeah, which was working not really perfect, yeah. So then, do you understand? So PhD student, for example, or was getting money something like 200 euros, yeah. So, for example, professor position, this is, I don't know, maybe €500, yeah, nothing more. It's demotivating. It was demotivating things. Nobody wanted to work, and we start to changing it, and we were successful. So maybe nothing, not more things were working very nice, but it was organized, for example, such a National Research Foundation of Ukraine. So this is this work very transparent money among scientific communities. It started to work. I consider this as a successful organization. For example, we had funding from my group, and we were working. Even now, there are this difficult time due to COVID. We were able to work very actively, and I consider that successful. Yeah, but unfortunately, one day and 24 February, everything was destroyed. So I don't know how this will work future, but what I would like to say is that Putin should not hope that he will destroy it here. So the first shock will be finished, and after that we start to work again. So because this should be continued. I believe now we will do this small organization in things, understand how all works in new conditions, and we will start again with our work. This is pretty sure.
And in the last days, we heard a lot of messages from scientific world and even from Russian scientists asking for peace.
Barbara, let me now not to say about scientists from Russia. So maybe, yes, I believe that in Russia there are people who understand what happens, yeah, but understand me correctly, now it's war, yeah, so this is, I believe that scientists in Russia should first do everything they can do in order to stop this war, yeah, they should go to street, to outside, yeah, they can be prisoner, but okay, they can be prisoner, yeah, for 15 maybe days in Russian legislation rules, it's true. But 15 days, but my family were sleeping, sorry, in a subway station 5 days, and now we are sitting in a flat, which is, I don't know how long we can stay here. I don't know what will happen next, yeah? So Russian scientists, yeah, they can write, they can do, but they can, I believe they should do it more actively, yeah? This is for Russian scientists, what I would like to say. If they want really to help us, they should simply do everything in 10 or 100 times more strength than they do it now. It's my opinion, my personal ability. Maybe a little bit angry on Russians, okay, but my understanding, this is now personal responsibility of Russians, because they were keeping silence due to this dictator regime, yeah? They were keeping silence, nothing to do during all this time, yeah? Simply, okay, we have some money, we have some stability, and what happens outside of us, it does not make any sense. It has sense. Russian, if you can show these Russians, I simply ask my Russian colleague to do more actively than now. And please, do not afraid some things like to be arrested or something like this by Russian regime, because what we have now, you may spend only 15 days, 2 weeks, maybe not nice conditions, yeah, in Russian prisons, yeah, but we are now bombing by Russian systems Grad children, you see. So they should. And what about our colleagues from other countries? This is very, you know, this is not naive question. This is very, very nice, because when you sitting in a metro station and like, so, okay, internet is working here, fortunately, yeah. So I'm still surprising, but it was working. And your moral status is not really nice in this case, yeah? So you don't know what happens next. And when you get tons of emails or Skype calls, WhatsApp calls from the world around, this is so strongly motivate, so you understand that you're not alone here. And the people, your colleagues already, even colleagues who were talking before that, okay, that Russians maybe one should understand Russians, what they're doing, and so they super, they changing their opinions, they understood what happens finally. This is very motivating things, and thank you very much. I would like to thank all my colleagues, also in the University of Padua, for such a stupid, also to Russian colleagues who is now trying to support us. But for Russian colleagues, I would like only to say, please do it stronger. Yeah, if you want to stop these terrible things, so this activity, this writing emails or something, this is not enough.